the other way. Let's get into game number 2. A BLG heading towards playoffs, and JDG just trying to get some points on the board so they can return. The grand finalists of spring still struggling under the heat or the weight of BLG. Let's go. Yeah, LGD, one day. You know what, Clement, I look forward to the day that LGD makes it to something like Worlds or, you know, like a spring or summer final. And then that's when you go, right, they're going to be stronger than ever because everyone's an LGD fan in the LPL.
It's a great way to get your name out there.
What, being an LGD fan?
Yeah,
or being on LGD?
Like, LGD exploits are legendary.
Yeah.
Lose to the bottom of the standings and win every match against the top.
I mean, Imp was on LGD at one point over with PYL, so those were some good times. Taking a look across the runes, we enter game number 2. And speaking of Imp, it's going to be press the attack Kai'Sa here, so a little bit more damage in this lane. But
and also press the attack Kuro. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Typically, it is going to be the
Conqueror,
yeah,
right?
the Conqueror is much more common, but press the attack does proc faster, and it does give you more kill threat in that lane.
Especially going up against the Electrocute Azir. So quick, short, bursting trades here. Now matched by Kuro.
An interesting one to see for sure. And Flawless, I think, most importantly for him is, can he actually get those ganks in the bottom side? If he can do that, then it really frees up Lumal to help the rest of the map. It's also the only lane that's actually easy to gank.
As Yagao just bops back Kuro, and this is the benefit of Electrocutors here, that even with press the attack, Kuro has to get nearby. And there's going to be a really tough lane, at least in the first 10 minutes here for Kuro.
This lane control is beautiful from
Yeah,
Yagao.
that's a massive wave. To get near it, Kuro's going to take another Electrocute prop.
See as he walks up. Wow, forces away the cannon minion as well. Just holding it right outside the wave is the most painful position for enemy laners to deal with. It means that a lot of the times the minions will actually die to minion auto attacks. And you don't have the safety of being under tower either. So a great position control from Azir.
Not the only lane that's getting pressured here is ADD getting pushed back and Zoom already holding control. A great gangplank player. This is what you got to say about Zoom is that, you know, if not the best GP in the league, he's definitely up there. And going up against ADD, who plays the champion himself, he's getting shoved early on. Another benefit of Grasp with the Undying Gangplank is when Gnar was in the meta, we didn't really see this as much. It was always the Klepto that was the go-to. Zoom winning out the lane himself.
Very heavily as well. I'm quite surprised that the Gnar actually went for the Doran's Blade. Typically, we do see the Gnars in this matchup just go for the Doran's Shield.
Yeah.
Just to heal up a little bit more. But maybe ADD felt like the fleet footwork was enough.
It's not. It's definitely not. Zoom has him so low. Next parlay to come through. ADD has to back here. Teleport going to be expended, and Zoom can just do the same thing, except the wave pushing against him means he can just walk to lane. So TP advantage for the top lane matchup.
Do expect both of them to be using it.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yep. All right, there we go. So Zoom TP's back in anyway.
Don't really want to lose all of the minions, any of the minions this early on. Makes a big difference.
So Sapphire Crystal picked up for the top lane. Double Doran's Blade here for ADD, so no defensive option with a refillable potion in hand as well.
Okay, so this could be a strategy on ADD's part, just to go for the lifesteal stack. You do get the 6% here. And I wonder if we saw him go for the healing options in the rune trees. Maybe he could have a under heal.
Oh, there we go. That's the trade I wanted to see. Kuro hits press the attack and finally back in his favor. Remember, Yagao has Ignite, so if he gets forced out of lane, he has to walk back. Ignite being the advantage, but Kuro doing that is good news now for BLG.
Once you hit level 6, you do have the kill threat onto Yagao. So we can see Flawless now trying to help his mid laner up.
Kuro still pushed against the turret, so there's no way he's stepping out this far in lane anyway. Able to walk back. 10 CS right now. The advantage for Yagao. And he can back off knowing the wave is that hard shove. So one of the benefits, again, of having a Silas jungle versus a Karthus is, you know, Meteor is not going to be that quick to gank.
Yeah, he's just going to be farming this one out. Taking a look at the bot side, we do see a small advantage coming in from Jinjiao, but not as big as we would have expected. Also, looking at the summoner is very defensive and typical against the Galio.
Yeah.
See the cleanse being selected here. Woo.
Now, ADD has hit level 6 in this top lane. Meganar about to come through. Zoom hasn't hit the margin himself, but going to be coming through very shortly. Gets grasp, Mega incoming, and Zoom has the cannon barrage now. So.
And this is a favorable itemization coming in from ADD just because of the back timing. Zoom, in his first back, did not get the Sheen. And facing the double Dorans, it's much more cost efficient on ADD's side. That's why we're seeing him starting to take over these trades.
ADD walking like there's no vision there, pretending to be dumb. Force backing away. Okay, that ward pays for itself in a way. ADD gets to stay in lane while Zoom walking around, looking to drop a ward himself. And stable lanes, once again, the slower paced games from both JDG and BLG. Two of our slower teams in the LPL. BLG being, you know, probably the slowest next to LNG at the moment.
Yeah, I never consider JD Gaming a team that wants to play slow.
They're just like,
it has been
well,
the case
here we are, right?
Yeah. They just didn't have clean wins this time around, so I wouldn't classify them as a slow team necessarily.
And I mean, part of that control and how they're actually playing comes down to the fact that they're not playing well. You know, like what is their style? Their identity is flawless. I mean, moments like that, right? You lose faith in individual players. And Flawless has been taking a lot of criticism recently.
It definitely has. Not a great showing at Rift Rivals. And JD Gaming has played a series completely with Kanavi. Still can get it to work.
And you're wondering, what is the best matchup right now? Is it Flawless or best jungler, excuse me? Flawless or Kanavi? I still think Flawless has probably shown some of the best, but Kanavi's new to the roster, so give him some time and then who knows.
It seemed like JD Gaming peaked at the wrong moments. I would have loved to see if Levi could develop a little bit more, pick up a bit more Mandarin.
I always loved Levi as a jungler. Early game centric, an amazing Olaf. Like, yes. He was a Viking.
Well, we heard JD Gaming talk about the issues playing with Levi. He just didn't have enough Chinese to communicate with the rest of the squad. So at the end, Flawless was still their top pick.
And you know what I love? He's back in the Gigabyte Marines. So bring on Gigabyte Marines in summer, I say.
Oh, he's got to be really careful. That's one passive, one auto away from death.
Oh, God, he's dangerous, but he's played off. He gets Meganar, hits the wall, but forces the flash out of Zoom as Requiem comes in. ADD just needed one more chunk, and he was dead. Zoom with no summoner, and now the Gnar has the top lane to himself.
Whew, that was a fun one to watch. He was, you could see Zoom was setting up for the barrel reset, and that would give him his extra passive proc. One passive proc plus the auto would be able to kill ADD before he changed into Meganar. But ADD found the damage before that. Now can he get away from this, though?
Cannon Barrage hops away. Meganar available for Flawless. He predicts and whops in. That was nice from Flawless. First blood to JDG.
Well done. They get the flash as well in that one. So Zoom coming up pretty far ahead in this in this trade. And on the next item purchase, he should finally have an advantage. That Sheen is so critical to how Gameplan can play the lane.
Yeah, we'll be able to back away, gets the wave into the turret, and Meteor here to respond. No teleport available for ADD, so important that Meteor was up here to get the small reset. But considering how far out of CS Flawless was falling behind, especially after the red buff reset, he gets the kill, and he's going to be able to catch some of that up.
And that's the dangerous trap about Karthus. If you like to skirmish early against him, you're giving him so many stacks, but if you don't disrupt him, then he just farms up a storm, stays completely healthy, and then out-levels you. He's already one level up now. So, like, I really see Karthus as a champion that you need to put him very far behind. If he's taken out of the game where you already see his laners sharing EXP and camp farm, then Karthus feels useless, and we've seen that happen in games, and that's why he's not selected that often in the LPL.
And you want to make sure you're that proactive with your ganks that your laners are so far ahead by the time Karthus gets into the game, well, everyone's too big to deal with. But that hasn't been the case here for BLG in this early game. They're going to pick up a Cloud Dragon. Their mid lane is within CS boundaries. Bottom lane has an advantage. Top lane may go down, but it's still within that CS mark as well. So
Meteor has more CS than his solo laners.
Yeah. And that's just a good example of how Karthus untouched is just going to be a massive threat. We get into the mid game with a Requiem that looks to half your health.
They kept on nerfing his damage, but his sustain really wasn't touched at all, and Karthus is still able to farm up a storm like this one.
Able to come to this bottom lane, and JDG able to force a Rift Herald in the top side, so he's going to get a bit more gold down bottom, and ADD not going to be able to defend this. So Rift Herald charges, and first turret blood. Looks like he'll be going to JDG, but let's take a quick look at the bottom lane. Or not.
Should be the extra 300.
Okay. Yeah. BLG went really close with that one. They'll pick up a response turret, and Rift Herald will even get a second charge. 3 people in the top lane. BLG, or rather JDG, is sticking around to get this second inner turret.
And there's nothing preventing them from doing so. No one rotating up fast enough. Xayah still taking a lot of time on the back end.
Wow. Okay.
That's huge for Gangplank.
That's great. That's so good for a GP.
Yeah, it doesn't have to worry about the laning phase. A lot more cannon barrages can be called across the map. And I think this is a great time for JD Gaming to start investing in jungle invades. Make sure Karthus isn't going to farm this much.
Yeah. Almost 100 CS at 12 minutes. He's a jungler. So Meteor having an absolute ball. And the laners not suffering from it. That's always what you want to see, as I mentioned before. If your laner starts suffering because your Karthus jungle is not the ganking type. It's like the Master Yi condition, right? He's like, I'll be there at 6. I'll be there when I have 3 items, and then I'll gank at 30 minutes.
Usually you see the big play being made when the double magic penetration comes out for the Karthus.
Yeah.
It does so much damage. You're over-leveled compared to enemy AD carries, so the magic pen really helps out on that one.
Yeah.
I want to see if they, if BLG tries to do something on that breakpoint.
Because you have to stop something about this Gangplank, right?
Yeah.
The Gangplank, the Azir, working towards, even the Kai'Sa, working towards very good conditions here for JDG.
The way the matchup usually works is if you see the Gangplank with Triforce before even the Black Cleaver is completed on the other end, the Gangplank will start to dominate the matchup.
Yeah.
It's too hard for Gnar to play when he gets chunked out by just 1 barrel, 1 cube.
Remember, if you want to try and stop Zoom, if you want to stop that condition, there's a lot of other conditions itself you have to look after. Lumao, especially. The Hero's Entrance, excuse me, is a great way for Lumao to support that top laner and make the play with the rest of JDG. I'm actually surprised we only have 1 teleport on JDG in this game, as they're not going to need it here in this play if they can find something. It's Yagao onto the Xayah, but the ult used immediately. Xayah and Rakan love each other up, then move together as Cannon Barrage does come down. Quick play here from JDG, but BLG just disengage immediately.
Yeah, very ballsy by Yagao, knowing that he had the stopwatch. So he goes into the full engage, and they will get tempo out of this play. A lot of members down to half health on BLG, especially the bottom lane.
Yep.
And just taking a look at the flashes, they got everything out of Jinjiao.
Had to burn the ult on top of that. Has cleanse still available with BLG. Meteor's left in the mid lane to clean up this wave. And a gold lead developing here. 1,500, 14 minutes. JDG, 1 item across the board. And I'm waiting for that Gangplank. Still sitting in the bottom lane. That Trinity Force, that has to be coming next back.
Definitely on time for this one. A lot of times the Kleptomancy Gangplank gets it at 13 minutes, but with the Grasp of Undying, he's still very much on track.
He smashed this lane with Grasp. That's the thing about GP, is that the laning phase becomes so nice when you have Grasp of the Undying. It's just the perfect summoner for it.
And much safer in lane, I would say.
Yeah.
And for BLG, you can see that they're now transitioning into the 1-3-1 yet, because frankly they don't have a winning lane for it to happen in. So this is going to be a bit awkward, where they finally do make the play here. Aurelia going towards the top side, but I don't think the Aurelia beats the GP. No, definitely not at this point.
No. Trinity Force picked up for Gangplank. Zoom at level 11. That Cannon Barrage hurts even more, and the Aurelia doesn't have a Trinity Force, so there's only really the Essence Reaver, no Black Cleaver, as you mentioned, the item comparison. It's not there for ADD. Looking across the board, if you want to say a winning lane, quote unquote, it's Jinjiao and XinMo at this point.
Yeah, I like the way that ADD itemized. Actually, after the first buy, I felt like he was doing quite well in lane. It was just the gank that put him that far behind.
Yeah.
And now he's, and he has no rage whatsoever.
Oh, he tried to hop. That's a killer instinct immediately. ADD has no Mega Knife, flushes out. They saved him, but Zoom parlay to the face. Howdy, Cowboy. There's his first kill.
Execution style, straight on the tempo. Sideway blast to the head.
Yeah.
And they get the Infernal Drake off that one.
Hard to face the Pirate. Infernal, thank you as well. JDG, this second game feels so different, Clement. Feels like this time they're playing the tempo to its right moment.
Yeah, this is we see this in JD Gaming versus BLG matchups, is that JD Gaming solo laners will typically get the lane priority, and it's really about how clean they can play this game. They choked out the vision on River. ADD had to face check into a Silas, and the crowd control plus the Kai'Sa killer instinct were enough to take him down.
And he's even further behind. He misses out on CS, he misses out on gold. And speaking of gold, it is a good news story, like I said, for Jinjiao and XinMo. But the Gangplank even getting some solo gold. The Azir got a bit. Kai'Sa, Imp, you know, he's best champion. He's behind in CS, but in terms of gold, not that far.
And I do want to see how Gangplank transitions his build. Usually we do see a lot of lethality being the selection here.
If you're ahead especially, yeah.
Yes, but also another build is going for the Essence Reaver. We've seen that one as well pop up sometime in the LPL. You can't crit on the barrels.
I'd like to add a third one. There's been the Sterix Gauge build, the super defensive into, you know, the Bruiser.
The if I'm behind build.
Yeah, but
I need to do something in
I don't think we're going to see this game. I'd love to see the lethality here against this team. That means for Jinjiao, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So I hear a cannon barrage. Where the ship at?
It was towards the top side, just to clear the wave out.
Okay.
That's an interesting way to use it. So JDG actually used the ultimate just for catch potential on the bottom side. However, ADD does back out of it in time.
Remember,
no harm done.
I mean, level 12 Gangplank, he has a Trinity Force with a bit of CDR. I think he feels comfortable just dropping that simply to clear a wave. It's 3/4 of the way off cooldown.
Wow, he's actually going to go for the Sterix. Much more defensive.
Are you sad, Clement?
I'm a little sad. I like big barrels.
Big barrels. Everyone loves them big barrels. Ooh, Yagao. Speaking of which, that's a big turret take down the bottom lane. Only one outer remaining here for JDG, and much more controlled style for the sake of being controlled, right? JDG are holding this game. And this is the pace I don't mind for a team like JDG. They have the gold lead. They have their conditions online. And to me, it fills the void that I felt after game one.
They are basically scaling up their side lanes at this point. BLG can't do much to impact the map. They only have mid lane with priority, but Imp is perfectly happy to just pick up these waves underneath tower. He's not going to risk anything. And the side lanes are running away with this game. It might look very peaceful for now, but JD Gaming are basically either stooping low to jump up higher. That's what they're...
Okay.
Yeah.
If they fought right now, Clement, what happens? BLG just get wiped?
Let's see.
Because I would look at Jinjiao, who's going Infinity Edge second, and if he gets that second item and gets to free hit in the fight, I think BLG win that.
Close. The fight would be really, really close, but it just depends on how the engage actually works. If Karthus can get into the backline without taking a barrel, then maybe BLG still have that wombo combo potential to win it. They do have a great CC chain in this one.
I've noticed a lot of teams against BLG on that note always match their tempo and their pace. Like BLG being a slower team, it takes some of our best teams like top, IG, even RNG to force them in an uncomfortable position. But if you can't do that, BLG will just take their game as slow as possible.
I'm always a bit queasy when I see teams go and match the pace of BLG.
Yeah.
I think they're masters at 35 minutes to just play the map better than most teams.
Who would you compare that to with like an LCK team who can kind of keep the tempo at their level?
Well, I would say someone like SKT when they were at their prime was very much
I'm glad you brought that as an example,
very well. So if you look at BLG losses, they always lose 2-0. They haven't suffered a lot where it was 2-1. And in all the 2-0s, the game pretty much ends the same way. They just get run over early game. That's their cardinal weakness, and what happens when they go up against the best of the best in the LPL, like the IGs, the top esports, that really have the solo lane strength to just punch through ADD and Kuro. But for the rest of the teams, if you play their tempo, it usually ends up in a macro win for BLG.
Yeah. It also goes to show you that for a team like BLG, to play that style in the LPL is impressive.
It's very hard.
It takes a lot of skill to play a slower style game. And I'll be honest, in the LPL since I joined, not used to it. BLG are the only team that feel like this. Yeah, because even a team like LNG that are slow, they play a lot of skirmishing in the mid early game.
Yep. Their motto is we'll fall behind, but we'll get this beautiful flank and shank.
We'll
get
scale.
People.
Where BLG are like, okay, we don't have to take risks. We'll scale anyway. And that's kind of been the way to go. Jinjiao with the Feather Storm out might be called out, but look at this. BLG just disengage. They don't send anyone else in. Back to the mid turret.
EQ for ult, still favorable for JD Gaming.
Yep.
And they are finally going to group up. This was very well played by JD Gaming. They come out of vision, and then Jinjiao can't really hold this without his life being in danger.
No ultimate available. Flash is still there. Has the Infinity Edge, so there's damage as they force the Flash onto ADD. They've caught him out. He's over the wall. Ignite's there as well. He's ticking away as the Requiem used, but Zoom again flashes in for the gun to the head. Execution once more.
Really well played there. Unfortunate for ADD. Did miss his flash over the wall. Thick part of the wall.
That's
so
it.
Don't blame him there. And a good find. That was JD Gaming playing with their minds. Like, this is good, smart play. Trading away key ultimates before the rotation comes in.
Two-man floors, duet onto the backside. One used by Kuro here as well, though, into the mid lane. JDG under the cannon barrage, field supported, but BLG have held this off. The minion wave is gone. Dangerous to continue the siege till the next one comes.
Yeah, but they should get this on the next wave. I think this is a good opportunity to actually chance it. But BLG did back, so I would try to force it here, actually.
We'll call that the double bluff. Everyone backs away. As after that fight, gives us time to take stock of the items once again. Sterex Gauge picked up. Sorry, Clement. Zoom towards his second item, but a Caulfield's Warhammer. Maybe that'll be exciting for you.
Yeah, so the second item is still looking for a little bit more team fight potential in the Sterex. He will be trying
Lethality
to
third, maybe. You know, that could be a Dust Blade. Hey, that could be a Yomu.
Yeah, most of the times it is the Yomu.
Who knows?
Having movement speed on the Silent is a little bit more important than getting a non-existent invisibility buff.
Okay.
He's not that sneaky.
Protobelt on the Silas, that was completed ages ago. So Force definitely sitting on some gold here. Sonya's Hourglass, wins his Rage Blade, 2 items across the board. Whereas
we have double upgrades from Imp already completed with the Storm Razor's build.
Looking at the Infinity Edge before. Second item for the Aurelia, which looks like a Sterex as well. Relonomicon completed for the Karthus, who has slowed down on his farming quite a lot, considering JDG have been breaking in. Getting this mid lane turret will mean it'll be harder for Meteor to safely farm away to.
All right, finally we get to see Zoom. Can he win this side lane duel versus a 0-3-0?
Not if ADD just hits the barrels, it's over.
Much better timing on his part. Actually took it down at 2 HP.
Look at the vision, though, from JDG. Complete throughout the topside river.
The main reason that Meteor is actually not keeping up his farm is because the rest of his teammates are taking away from him.
That's also true,
That's usually what we see Karthus's downfall. It's not because he can't farm himself. It's because the rest of his teammates are so far behind.
And you get to this late game point where, like, Jinjiao's like, the red is mine. Kuro says blue is mine. Do you take it? You never take a blue from Karthus, right? Do you?
Oh, of course I would.
Would you? Of course you would, but I'm asking your analytical opinion, not whether you'd be greedy.
I would take it a lot of the times. I think it's still more important on mid lane.
Okay. Meteor has blue, though, so apparently he doesn't agree. He picks up his own blue.
He doesn't need it.
Head towards the top side. Look at where JDG are in comparison to XinMo and Kuro. Potential sandwich here, but the pieces fell apart before they can get in place. JDG back away, still holding control around the Baron. And this is what we talked about for BLG. The game's still slow, and they know Baron's not being done. They've got a control ward in the back of the pit, so they can keep going at this pace once again here in Game 2.
Yeah, still very slow and measured, but I think we're just waiting for the third item completion onto Azir. Once he gets that extra attack speed from the Nashor's Tooth, then they could just clear out Baron incredibly fast. And this time, BLG doesn't have the poke potential like they had in the last game to stop it.
And they weren't down this far last game as well. There was no more than 2,000-3,000 gold. JDG this game, 4,000, and it stayed there consistently with an Infernal that adds even more gold value. I'd also like to note to everyone at home that Zoom is towards his third item, which seems to be the Essence Reaver, which is now changed to BF Sword. Clement's happy about that one, as Floor's getting frisky with the Baron at the same time. So
I love crit barrels. I think if you're far enough into the game, lethality actually falls off in utility.
True. Get an Infinity Edge 4th.
Yes. Getting that damage down is actually much more, it's much raw damage, raw AD stat, it's much better than lethality late game.
Yep. Well, good to see we're looking towards that late game mind here for Zoom. BLG still just trying to keep vision around the Baron. Right now they have no idea if it's being done or not. They can't get near the pit. JDG are waiting for them, and now it seems like Baron at 26 minutes finally looking to start.
Okay, so BLG are still a ways off, but they will find this one.
It's going down so quick.
What Meteor can do is decide to simply flash over the wall.
4. Lumao flashes into the 80 carry of Jinjiao. They get off the Baron. TP coming in and Cannon Barrage used. As look at XinMo wants to take the engagement. Requiem. Kuro comes in with the big ultimate into the backside. They get shoved out by the Shurima Shuffles. Jinjiao now walking in as well. The ult from Lumao doesn't do enough as Flawless is caught out. BLG walked through, timing their ultimates beautifully.
And Jinjiao was just on point with all of his abilities. He goes the engage from Lumao, dodges away, and then the teleport and follow-up comes in. Great play from Kuro as well, getting that ultimate down onto the choke for extra damage.
This is an interesting teleport as I almost rip out my cord to look for it. Kuro around the side, going to be spotted out by Zoom. He's looking for the flawless duet, and they might actually find him on the backside while Baron's being done, and ADD about to go into Meganar. They flash in to stop him, but Kuro is going to die here. Getting low health bars, and ADD trying to choke them off, but it'll be Imp who picks up the kill at the cost of Baron on 4 for BLG.
Huge win for BLG, and they're going to reverse the tempo of this game. I understood why JD Gaming was looking for the turn. If Meteor was able to flash down into the Baron pit, you need to disengage immediately. There's not much you can do with that. Like, even if you kill him, he's still going to be there. So bad fighting situation. They were looking for the turn to begin. However, great play from Jinjiao. He gets away from everything. Good cleanse on him. And that was multiple ultimates used from the JD Gaming squad
just to get out.
That.
Yeah. What did we say in the mid-game, Clement? If you play the tempo of BLG, a lot of the time the macro always goes towards them. They always play better team fights, and decision-making has always been their forte. And for JDG walking into that trap, taken advantage of. You pointed out Jinjiao, 3 items with a rapid-fire cannon, and his ability to take the fights is immense.
I just wanted JD Gaming to wait a little while longer. They were almost near their 3rd item completions. Look at Gameplink. Already has the Essence Reaver after this back, and Azir would have had the attack speed as well. That would have helped so much in securing the Baron and making that a viable option. Instead, with their current builds that they had, they were just too slow on the trigger, and that gave enough time for BLG to retaliate.
Well, lucky for JDG, even with the turret going down, they were able to pick up the Dragon, and the gold will be even, which for a team with the GP and 3 items, with Yagao and almost 3 items, and the Kaiser, you're saying it's not over just yet. They need to make sure the base doesn't get broken on this Baron push, and that they can hold off BLG to find a fight for another day.
JD Gaming still definitely have the composition that can play 5v5s quite well. It's just about finding the engages for them. No real gap closers that can send Galio towards the backline. So I'm really looking for, I think Barrel and Cannon Barrage are their 2 engage options where it'll give them the slows to catch up.
And dodging away from ADD with the Mega Nut. I mean, if they get caught up in ADD, it's all over. You know, the Vanguard's Edge is a big ult. Karthus Requiem, sure. Even Zai hitting from the backlines. But at the end of the day, if ADD hits 2 or more people, JDG are going to lose that fight.
And I just love Mega Gnar in these side lane sieges. It's a narrow corridor. You have that ultimate that's basically going to cover that entire choke.
Yeah.
So it's a great sieging tool here. JD Gaming are going to have to be so aware of it. I don't think it's a great idea when you're against Gnar and Karthus to all sit underneath your tower and try to defend.
That's true.
A lot of times you actually want to spread things out a little bit more and make sure they're not going to get that full-on engage onto you.
The BLG getting pushed up against by Yagao. Still a good news for JDG that they can hold off this Baroned up BLG. As ADD looking for Lumao here, will be able to get the Hyper Proc and turns into Mega just in time, just in case. JDG fighting over their own jungle right now, and BLG moving back to the mid lane. And Baron buff in 10 seconds, gone. Inhibitor turret's not broken. Still a good news for JDG.
1,000 damage barrels already being placed by Zoom.
Yeah. Now,
that was a lot less impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he did have the passive Rakan shield, so give him a break, Clement.
You need a bit of luck for those barrels.
Also, Zeke's convergence, remember, that's going to do a lot against him.
Yes, that's true.
So let's see when that fourth item comes through, because BF Sword already picked up, and we all know what the BF in Sword stands for. It's going to be a big one, with Infinity Edge most likely soon to come.
Definitely love the build on this one. You just roll the die, 50% chance the entire team disappears.
It's not even a die, it's fixed.
So JD Gaming now have lost their map control, and it's gotten to the point where I feel like Kuro's going to have a decent time just doing the 1v1 solo against Zoom.
Okay.
Now, Aurelia is a champion with a lot more mobility, and she can dodge around those barrels, so it does have an infinitely better matchup than I would say ADD.
What about against Yagao? Because right now he's splitting into the Azir. Does that 1v1 extend to him, or you think with the Zhonya's Hourglass it's just too much?
I think he's still going to be able to take that matchup.
Yeah?
If he gets past the soldiers, then no problem. Like, it's going to take Azir too much time to actually reposition.
Okay.
So you can see Azir just pushing up now, but he's not willing to really contest the wave in any meaningful way. And BLG finally got the 1-3-1 they want.
Also, remember, it's never a true 1v1, is it? Because Meteor adds it. Like, it's unfair, but the Requiem is always going to come down. If you don't use your Zhonyas in the trade, you're sure going to need to save it for that ult by Meteor. Who, yeah, he is meaty, and he's level 16, and Rabadon's death cap moments away from completion too. So this big item on the cards that's going to influence this next fight, where JDG are zoning around the Baron set up for the next 45 seconds.
I really like Jinjiao's builds here. He's been committing to the Bloodthirster over and over again, especially when he has a cleanse, and last time around he had the Tahm Kench.
Yep.
So he's willing to go deep for the damages and keep himself in the fight longer, relying a lot on his lethal tempo for the attack speed.
ADD almost caught out there though, Clement. Flawless looking for the abscond abducted. Jinjiao's here, seemingly by himself now for JDG. XinMo going to get spotted out there with the Void Seeker that sips past him. BLG holding the mid wave strong. Now they need to clear it, head towards the Baron, because that's where JDG are going.
This is a team where good setup is very painful for the enemy. If you walk into just one barrel, it could spell the death of you.
Baron has begun though, Requiem, and it's going down fast. This needs to be hit immediately into the pit. It's taken by JDG, but the fight with the Meganar on the backside, which hasn't come across. ADD dies without it. JDG blinking low. Explosive fight at that as Jinjiao almost dies. Erupted by Yagao. The Azir and the Silas on top for BLG as Meteor is looking for him. But he's got a bit of backup. What? He does, Clement. What are you talking about? He will die to Flawless in the end, though, who's just kiting around. And JDG pick up Baron, and they even out the fight.
Oh, Imp could not dodge out of the Skittle, and just one takes him down. Still a great win for JD Gaming. I think the crucial play there was Lumal actually preemptively using the taunt, predicting that XinMo was going to come in at that angle, and they don't get the quickness down. Look at this. Oh, actually just uses the Zhonya's. So he still does go into it, but doesn't get the full amount of targets, and no one's close enough to the pit here to really contest it. Yagao cleans the back line out. And this is the difference where I felt like JD Gaming on the previous Baron take should have waited for their third item.
Yeah, in game one,
it just changes it so much.
Or even this game, yeah.
Oh, he hits the slow, so nothing much that Imp could actually do here. Good read by Meteor.
And it was a better trade by JDG, dude. Only person left remaining was Kuro. So you saw in that fight, what did we say, Clement? If ADD couldn't get that ult, that's what would happen. And ADD died before going into Meganar. 0-4 now, and he's not having an exceptional game, but all he needs to do is hit that ult. When he doesn't, JDG take full control. And now with the Baron buff, now they can start getting some of that gold back on their side.
Yeah, and they can finally reverse the 1-3-1. Most important thing to get themselves map pressure. This time around, I think Gameplank's going to have an easy time. At least he's going to have the minion wave behind him.
And the Infinity Edge as well, by the way.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
What's the last item, Clement? Mortal Reminder against the BT of Kai'Sa.
Oh, that would be a nice one. I think if you have percentage armor pen is quite good if you're going for this build.
Okay.
Definitely works with your works with your crit procs as well.
That's true. You could also go something defensive again if you want, but
you could also go all in with the crit, which is the split push build, and that would be the PD.
Okay. Or the static shiv. Old Gangplank. I miss old Gangplank. He presses E and he just fires a gun in the air. That's kind of been this game though. Cannon Barrage used defensively. We'll see how it impacts the next fighters. JDG, you talked about the split. Zooms in this slide wave. Unmanageable right now by BLG.
After the passive does work on towers, so
Apart
you can see him refreshing it.
Yep. JDG pick up a turret in the mid lane as well. And for BLG, it seems the decision will come under this inhibitor turret, or they'll just give it away and look for a fight again later.
Let's watch the poke as it comes down. I think this is a good position for Flawless to actually preemptively use the Requiem.
Yep. Meteor has that available, level 17 Carthus, almost towards that 18 mark, and has 3 items. A Rabadon's death cap was completed.
Oh, here comes the flank.
That was a quick one. Who is it? It's Dinar. He has Mega almost up. The Requiem now used. 4-man ultimate here. The Vanguard's edge sets it up. Nah! Sends them backwards though, and JDG all go golden at once as BLG are sent packing, and that was the Emperor's Divide in the end. Excuse me, ADD didn't get to ult because Yagao sent him away.
Wow, that was such a good push and pull coming in from Yagao. They anticipate ADD coming in. When they see him, they don't let him get anything off. Straight push away. Great Zhonya's and the quickness here.
Yeah, Flawless has taken it away. Jinjiao pokes him down, but the barrel is starting to come through as Jinjiao heals up and starts pushing them back himself. Inhibitor turret goes down, but JDG can get nowhere near the inhibitor. This game again, sent up to one single fight that'll break it open and possibly end it.
That was damn close. Wow, watch this. 469 damage onto XinMo, but has to back away from a 1v3.
Well, Rakan deceptively tanky at this point, I think you'll agree, Clement. The fact is, he's not getting one shot by barrels with a 5-item Gangplank. And that's good news. BLG lose one more, the inhibitor goes down, possibly the game here at this point. And 37 minutes, once again.
Yagao learned his lesson from the first game.
Yeah.
He's like, I will respect the Gnar and ult early.
That was a great, I thought the Nara, I was like, wow, he shoved him back a truckload.
It did look like it was very close. The crucial things about that team fight was that the Requiem from Silas actually wasn't stopped in that one, and then he was immediately pushed out. So not a lot of damage actually done. Great use of the redemption there.
Because that Gnar was set up to get a 3-man against the wall, and that would have been it. And that's how volatile the Gnar pick has been in the past. Almost 4 items towards him. At the moment, I'm looking at the Azir Rabadons. Final builds coming through. Nothing really standing out as much as maybe a Rabadon there for Flawless. Also a Hex Drinker picked up here for Jinjiao. And the AP build to finish off with Zhonya's Hourglass for Imp and Needlessly Large Rod, which could be something like a Void Staff. Could be... What are you thinking, Clement?
Usually she goes for the death cap. You have the magic penetration from Guinsu's Rage Blade.
That's true. As Jinjiao actually might be called out. The feathers fly, but Flawless can't bring them back in, so they sit there. I'm wondering is it's the late game Silas. He doesn't care. He can steal as many ults as he wants.
Kuro starting the split push as well.
Yeah.
And no one's there to actually match him.
He's backing for now. Ping's going down. Kuro can stay here if he wants, but it's this bottom lane where JDG are now hovering as 2 members are going to sit here and do the sneaky Baron.
Another Elder for Baron trade from BLG?
This time, though, the game's going to have to go even longer if they want to trade for double Elder. TP coming in. Curious. They don't think they're there. Cannon Barrage to set up as they get Baron. Now BLG no, but this time it's risky. Zip ults into the back, gets the assassination.
No
the 80 carry will die. 1-for-1 as Flawless jumps on in into Kuro. The Elder Dragon still doing his work, and Flawless only just survives. The barrels to help him survive, and he does, but on a slither, meaning Yagao goes golden, means Zoom in a bad position. The flash from the Azir, he's out. And Lumel tanks out the Dragon, but this too should be going down. The Winds of War, be careful, but it will be secured as Kuro want Yagao alongside AD. He flashes 1, 2, 3. Boomerang almost dies. But BLG, it's a trade again. This time, they get kills off the back.
And they're going to get Luma as well. He can't go anywhere.
XinMo's there to stop him. The Justice Punch away. They want to slow him down. Find him with the entrance of Grandeur. ADD knocked up, and you know he's doing no damage here. Lumao, take it like a man. 2 and 3. Just get it. They're delaying it. That's annoying. You hate this. Kill him. And now, scattered death timers for JDG.
A bit disorganized after JDG actually got Flawless down. If they just disengage, I don't think that BLG would be able to stay around. Without the smite here, like, okay, after this, everyone from JD Gaming should just try backing out. And it would put so much pressure on BLG that I don't think they would be able to continue this one. However, they stay around, and Yagao, I have to call this a clear mistake, walks closer into the fight, and good job by Jinjiao to keep Elder Dragon from regenning, and they take it.
Flawless is so lucky. I mean, that, well,
it was
not lucky, but that was so close. He got hit by the Requiem, went golden just a second after it happened.
Yeah, that was messy from JD Gaming. If Yagao wasn't caught there, I think BLG might need to just back off. Without the smite, they can't risk it.
But now we're left in a trade situation once again. This time, Baron, JDG, Dragon by BLG once more.
I want to know, in the interviews, is this BLG's master plan?
This is like
it's like,
double
oh, we're always
Elder.
going to get second Elder.
But we're set up once again, right? Like, you look at Vision at this point in the game, easily resettable by JDG, but they've got control down the bottom side. 4 minutes is all they have to wait. And what's another 4 minutes in the grand scheme of BLG's game time?
Not much.
Not much.
Probably the answer.
That's the right answer, Clement. Death Dance, by the way, picked up for Kuro as they go through the final items. And a GA picked up by the Gangplank. So Zoom at the Captain Jack Sparrow level once again. I looked at ult that would change the game. I pointed out BLG's ADD just before. But so far, I'd say Emperor's Divide, maybe Cannon Barrage, a Zoom Barrel, is going to mean that BLG get knocked out before they get to the second Elder or during.
Just looking at that Silas damage, his Requiem is going to hurt like a truck.
Yeah.
This is going to give JD Gaming a very easy entrance into that mid lane inhibitor. They can preemptively use the ultimate and then just walk in when everyone's low health. They also have the Cannon Barrage to force off sieges. So that's what I expect them to do. They just need to make sure that they're clearing out all their backline wards, or else ADD will find a flank.
Haven't seen a massive ult out of him this game just yet. Still waiting for it, as in a position to get hit by one of these barrels, and I'm curious as to what it does. They're just skirting around each other. ADD was in full vision of Zoom, and this GP
Zoom was in vision of ADD as well. Good warding by ADD.
He auto-attack crit for 1,000 with a barrel, excuse me. So we will see what the parlay does at this point in the game, because I guarantee you it would be towards 1.5, at least.
This is insane that BLG's actually playing for second Elder.
Yeah, again.
I
like it though. I mean, that's confidence in their late game playstyle, as Kuro actually might be caught out here. Two-man falls to it, locks him down as they take the full-on engage. He survives for so darn long, but goes into the GA. Cannon Barrage to come down, but BLG are going to lose their mid laner at this point. He goes golden to delay time, but what is he delaying? BLG have nothing on the map, but that is a big death timer with Baron coming up and the reset available by JDG.
And this should just be the mid lane inhibitor. There's nothing preventing them from taking that. You can see ADD trying to split the team away from each other, going towards the bot lane, but JD Gaming are not going to flinch. Straight towards the mid lane.
Okay, here we go. That's going to break things wide open. 40 seconds available. Where does it go from there? Because I mentioned they could head towards Baron, secure that, wait for a pick, and even reset just before it, but JDD start hitting away, and at this point, yep, you can't contest it. Inhibitor goes down. They can't end the game just yet, but BLG have to wait for their mid laner, and now the map, the rest of it is JDG.
This is so tense, because if you look at the timer difference, there's still 20 seconds between Baron and Elder. And what that means is, with JD Gaming and their mid lane priority, they can take Baron and still contest on the Elder.
Yeah.
So BLG will have to respond to JD Gaming on the top side of the map.
Because last game, the Elder timing was exact. It was towards Baron. This time it being so spread out means that BLG's win condition, we'll call it, because truly it feels like a win condition, is going to be difficult to achieve. So getting the mid lane push here important. Force takes the best ulti at this point. He's full build. The Requiem is going to do as much as Meteor. And now for JDG heading towards that Baron, actually getting pushed out by BLG. So next fight coming up, Baron in 15.
You can see, even though with the second Elder on the horizon, BLG are slanting towards the top side of the map. They know they have to contest this one, or JD Gaming is going to take Baron, then go for Elder, and their game plan's out the window.
Look at ADD's Mega Nah bar, though, as Requiem comes out. He's going to hit it very shortly, the Requiem.
Wow.
Half health's Meteor. And that's some HP bars they can play with as Baron started up by Zoom and Flawless.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised by how little that did to the rest of the team, but here comes the Smite fight, both level 18.
Vision with the Wall of Pain. Meteor has the flash available. He goes in, he doesn't secure it, but he dies in a good place as Cannon Barrage into the backside. Requiem coming out. It goes kaboom! Zoom at half health as him. Ignited as well by XinMo. He jumps back in. The Vanguard's edge hits him on the side while they jump onto Jinjiao. The ult, the wall, sends him asunder as ADD misses the ult. The 1v1 goes to Kuro, but it's all over for the rest of BLG. Zoom and Flawless jump on him, miss him in the end. He's alive! How the hell, with such a small bar, is that little dinosaur dog alive?
And he gets the fleet footwork. He's going to be out of here.
Oh my god, he
Flawless
makes
goes
it.
the wrong way.
He can press B here. Just do it. And he's away, Clement. ADD surviving means that with 2 TPs, they can challenge this Elder.
Fight is not over yet, but this is going to be in full vision. Is Zoom going to start it alone? He still has his GA.
Clears the ward. I talked about the TP. It's only Kuro for now. Flawless has jumped on him. You need ADD, who's coming in as well.
Dodges
It's
the barrel.
2 versus 2. Flawless takes the fight as Kuro gets low. No
But
GA.
Zoom's so
Goes
strong.
golden. Flawless duet. Nara against the wall. ADD gets one, and Zoom with the GA is ready to take them all on. Needs a parlay, but ADD, you're not getting out this time. Run for your life. Kuro the Remnant once more, and Zoom is controlling this game.
But guess who has the jungler still on the map? It's going to be BLG with Meteor up and alive. They're going to go for this again? That's absolutely crazy. They need to stay put, back out, and just set up the vision here. Prevention is more important than taking it themselves.
JDG have no deep vision, so they don't know where they are. Zoom and Lumao are waiting.
They dodged the plant.
They know they're there now.
Zoom's
Barrel
not
set
spotted.
up. And Dragon's just going to walk on out. BLG started.
It is going to be the smite on BLG, but watch all of those barrels. If one of those land, that could change the decision.
Great Wall of Pain, and Cannon Barrage comes through. Impulse in, into the back line. Remember, Kuro has no GA, and he stops with the Emperor's Divide once more. The barrage destroys it. Imp snipes XinMo through the gap. The hero's entrance to fly through, but Jinjiao can't get off Imp. BLG are routed, and Zoom in the same position as last time. Shows he's ready for the sequel. Welcome JDG to the series. That kill might mean something, but I think JDG know where to go next.
No jungle, no problem. It's going to be a 4v1 defend that ADD has to put up with right now, and I don't think he's long for this world.
Zoom TP's in, ADD. He's not scared of him. Sends a barrel to zone him away. And BLG, their win condition is sent aside here in game number 2. Mega Nah's tanky, ADD delays, but the death timers are too much. Dies in the spot, and JDG take us to an epic game 3.
This has been a series where there has been close to 100 minutes of game time. 47 in the first one, 48 in the next one. Both of them revolving around a second Elder Dragon buff.